All right, so we're live right now, but we'll just hang out a little bit, let people file on in. What's going on, Brent?
Jim, happy Friday, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Heading off to school.
All right.
Hold on, that's me.
I just got a zip.
See, I messed up. Okay. Yeah, man, it's been a long week. Busy.
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Better to be busy than not to be doing anything at all.
Nah, I always got to keep it moving, man. I always tell people I'm like a shark. Isn't it a shark that if they stop moving, they'll die? Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
You never heard of that? See?
No, that's pretty funny though.
They must see. I'm from South Florida. We have sharks and shit like that in South Florida. Anyway, so what's going on, man? Well, speaking of South Florida, so we're both in Texas now, right? But what's going on in Miami?
What is going on in Miami? There's a lot of stuff in Miami. In fact, there might even be a really cool event taking place in September in Miami with a particular brewery, and I guess we'll have more info for that later another time.
So stay tuned.
Definitely stay tuned for this.
You know what's funny? Like we started having like relationships with local breweries here, and I didn't even think of you until we talked again. I was like, damn, Brent's a big craft beer guy too, man.
Did, man. I mean, comics and beers. You know, we have that other page.
Yeah.
We just basically have fun with action figures and comic books and beers, but you know they all go together. I'm sure you've seen some of the crazy can art that some of these beers have had. It's pretty cool, actually.
I like that page at first. When I first saw it, I remember I was like, "This looks like Brent's table." I was like, "It was." I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got some people in the chat here. Bob Blanton's in the house. We got Comic Galaxy. Oh, Great Whites. They're the ones that can't stop moving.
Great White. Somebody Google search that.
We got Austin Links in the house. We got a couple people who were in here waiting because we set this up to test it like an hour ago, right? And we got it together. So we got Brandon Wilson's in the house, John Valenzuela. What up? What up? So
howdy.
Let's wait for a couple people. What up, Emmanuel? Dimitri. We'll wait for a couple people to come in. We got a cool like little topic show, which is actually unlike our channel to have topics.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. So
yeah, this will be good.
All right. Good. You want to get it started? So yeah, so this show is Who is Scott Williams? We're live with Brent from IGCOMICSTORE. This is Gem Collectibles. And who is Scott Williams? So I guess we should start with Brent and I. We talk all the time, right? We team up on some of your exclusive variant covers, like the Joe Jusko ones, the What If Punisher, the Uncanny X-Men 1 variant, a lot of your Del Auto stuff. And you had this crazy Silver Surfer picture on your IG, and I hit you up, right? I was like, yo, what the hell is that?
Well, so obviously I'm sure it's known that we don't. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine, man. You sound good. You look good too.
Oh, well, thank you. We're not trying to do, 20, 30 variants in a month. We're real particular about the books that we jump on. And for this variant, we wanted to do something a little above and beyond. And when we asked for Scott Williams, as we dive in, I guess it'll make more sense and connect the dots of how influential this guy's work has actually been. So
that's what this is going to be about, because you told me, oh yeah, Scott Williams did it, and I was like, Brent, forgive my ignorance. I'm a guy that grew up reading comics, and I always followed the characters, and I was never good at following the artist or following the writer. So I was like, forgive me if this is a dumb question, but who is Scott Williams? And you're like, bro, what? Like, you don't know who Scott Williams is? I'm like, he's like, have you heard of Jim Lee? I'm like, yes, I heard of Jim Lee. And he's like, well, basically all those Jim Lee covers that you know and love, Scott Williams inked those. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I immediately looked at some slabs, and I was like, yo, Scott Williams' name is on all these Jim Lee covers. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that Scott's been living in certain artists' shadows or anything like that, but I don't think the recognition has really been given to what this guy has actually done. And so I'm really excited for us to just show everybody, again, not only the covers, but just comparisons of, you know, Jim's work and Scott's work. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I had like a Seinfeld moment when you were telling me like all the work that Scott has put in the industry for like 30 years. It was like a Seinfeld moment. Like, this is a show. This is a show. Let's do a show about this, and let's show people and get his name out there, because yeah, Jim Lee's a household name, and it's Scott Williams who contributed to those covers, and the art you see, the line work that you see is really Scott's work. Not to take anything away from Jim, who is an incredible artist as well, but I just think there should be some shared recognition there. So we're going to talk about some of Scott's work. We're going to talk about the inker's role in general, because not everybody is maybe as savvy as to the inner workings. We got F in the house, by the way, in the back. You don't know what the hell an inker is, I'm sure.
No.
Never heard of that. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about the exclusive variant that Scott has done for you guys, which is insane. Cool. All right, right?
Let's do it, man.
All right, so first of all, let's talk about the inker's role. So the artist draws the original picture. They sketch it with pencils, right, for the most part. And when you hear the word sketch, that's what it is. It's a lot of lines. You're erasing stuff. I don't want to say it's sloppy, but it definitely is not clean, right?
Right.
So the inker's role is to basically go over that original sketch work with ink, with a pen or whatever. Well, back in the day, now it's a lot of digital, right? But go over it with strong, clean lines, and they add a lot to it, like those hash marks, you call them, and the shadowing they do. We'll show an example right now. This is one of the most iconic covers in comic books, which is the 90s X-Men 1. And correct me, Brent, is this like the highest selling comic book to date?
To my knowledge, it is. I mean, maybe between that and X-Force 1, I think Rob's it might be a tie, but yeah, I mean,
so check this out. Yeah. So it's up there. It's definitely one of them, if not the most selling comic. I think it is, though. I mean, it did have like 5 covers, and it kind of, I think, got a boost like that. But besides the point, this is one of the most recognizable covers of comic book history. And Scott, like all these blacks, is Scott, like, right? All this stuff on the helmet.
That's all Scott. That's all Scott. So I mean, Jim's doing the pencils, and Scott is basically forming the lines around everything. So that's what he does. He polishes everything up. He defines the shapes, shades them, and
yeah, like look at this shading on Cyclops' chest, like that stuff. Yeah, so when you look at a finished cover, and I'm gonna go through some others, because he did X-Men 1 through like 9, right?
Right. Well, there might be 1 or 2 that he did not do inks on, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure which issues.
Okay, well, this is not Scott right here. Is this not his thing under Jim Lee?
No, that's him. Yeah, he did issue 2, 3, 4, but there might be like 5 or 6. One of those he didn't do the inks on. That one he did inks on as well.
I think Scott might join us in the live chat, so maybe he can correct us.
Like, come on in, Scott. Don't be shy now.
Say, actually, I did not do that one. Did he do this one? Because I always love this Wolverine Omega Red. Okay.
I don't. So that's actually one I don't think he did.
Oh yeah, I don't see his name on it. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. All right. So anyway, so let me ask you. Oh, what about this?
Williams. Yeah, that's
Ghost Rider. So let me ask you, when I'm looking at this, I mean, how much of it is Scott that we see, and how much is Jim? I mean, I know Jim, he's definitely doing the layout, the positioning of the characters, and Scott's really like cleaning it and defining the line work. So it's like, how much are we seeing, right?
Well, I mean, like, again, he's polishing everything up. So, without guys like him, you're really not getting the depth perception of these covers.
Right.
And that's what he's adding, is that extra detail and shadowing and just the depth that you don't see on a lot of covers.
And you know what's crazy? Yeah, for sure. And like, I'm in the statue world. In the statue world, everybody wants the statue to look like a Jim Lee piece. Like, everybody is always wanting Jim Lee X-Men, Jim Lee Batman. And it's funny how Scott worked with Jim on the Batman Hush stuff too, man. And I mean, his name's on the cover right here and everything. It's like, How have I not heard of him so far? Like,
well, it's easy. I mean, Jim Lee is Jim Lee. I mean, he's got what, almost 1 million followers on Instagram. I mean, that names like that just tend to overshadow pretty much anybody else. So it's up to guys like us to highlight and showcase, the brilliance of someone like Scott Williams' work.
Yeah, I think what's dope about it too is that Jim and Scott are like really good friends. I think that's really cool, man.
Yeah, they've got a real symbiotic relationship, and they've done quite a few YouTube videos together as well.
I think you have to if you're working that closely, and like obviously they work well together. I mean, I don't know if you can see Brent, but I'm just pulling up the Batman Hush covers to kind of show.
Such a great series, man. Gosh, what a great series.
Yeah, they actually recently did those like statues for that, like huge 1/3 scale statues for the Hush stuff.
I saw that. I want that Batman.
Yeah, so even like, a lot of these, look at these line works. Like, I don't know, it's just that's really dope. I wish we had some examples with just the sketch.
Yeah, I mean, Jim's sketch work is amazing too. I mean, I would throw him in the David Finch, Michael Turner category when it comes to just making a badass sketch, that looks super detailed.
Yeah, then Jim and Scott also did the Dark Knight Master Race, Dark Knight 3, the variants, right?
Right. So all the 1 in 500 variants, Scott did inks on as well, and I mean that's such an iconic cover. And that series, I don't think really got the love. These books really didn't get the love that they should have got. But
yeah, I think people were disappointed with the storyline, right?
Yeah, it didn't live up to the first one, but
had big shoes to fill.
I love that cover right there. That's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, and look at the blacks and stuff. Like, I wonder if the sketch had that deep of blacks, or if that was an inker decision.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I might have to ask and see if we can if we can get those pictures and share them.
All right, hold on. Oh, because I'm messing up here. So I want to show. Okay, so what we want to show is an example of something that was Liefeld did on his own, and something that Scott inked, right?
So that's okay.
All right, so we got these two side by side, right?
Well, that you need to take down that 264 because that's Jim.
That's the other one. So which one's the one I'm looking for? The other, the New Mutants one.
90.
Here we go. So Scott is on the right, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, you have a distinct difference in how Cable looks, right? Like you could see. I want to say it looks Jim Lee-esque, but really it looks like Scott Williams because he just traditionally does those Jim Lee covers that we're so used to seeing.
I think that's why everybody gets them confused, and not to get ahead of I guess this conversation, but we've actually had a few people ask, like, "Hey, did Jim help do the Silver Surfer cover with Scott?" And because it looks like Jim's work, and no, that's all Scott, man. And it shows right here. You can see the difference of his line work and how good it is.
For sure. Let me stop sharing for a second because I know that we were kind of neglecting the live chat here. So what do we got going on? So we got my boy Miguel Martinez is in the house. Dan Solo's in the house. Mexico.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, brother. We got Tony hand up me. Who is that? All right. So anyway, let's see if we got any questions in the chat. Yeah, so Comic Galaxy said you could definitely tell the difference when someone else inks Lee's work. Yeah, we were talking about that too, right, Brent?
Well, yeah. So if you show, well, we don't have to do this now, but if you show that other comparison of the X-Men one and then that Uncanny X-Men 264, I think.
Let's pull those up. Yeah, because that was the reason why I had the 264.
Yeah. Then you'll really see a big difference since you're comparing just Jim, and then Scott and Jim. You'll see how clean Beast looks.
Yeah, so let's show that right now. So I'm sharing. So the X-Men one, which we talked about, right?
Right.
You can really see and look in the different. Who inked the X-Men 264?
That's all Jim.
That's all Jim.
I don't know. I don't know who did colors, but that's all Jim. And of course, the one on the left is Jim and Scott.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm just comparing it myself. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the difference.
one do you like better?
The one on the left.
I mean, the one on the right kind of has, it's cool because it kind of has that nostalgic feeling of Beast. But the one on the left is it's like the one on the right, but just more polished up. Just the lines look better, the shading, the inking looks better,
But I'm drawn to Storm on that cover too, man. Storm looks sick.
Yeah, everybody on that cover. And I was trying to find somebody that had like it shows Beast on both of these covers to where we could actually do a nice comparison, and everyone could see that there's definitely a difference when Scott's involved and when he's not involved.
All right, so here's another one that you showed me, this Ghost Rider one, right?
Yeah, that was actually a really cool art too. It carried over to X-Men, I think 8 and 9, and Ghost Rider 26 and 27.
Yeah, here goes 26.
Yeah, he got infected by the Brood. That's a crazy cover.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that those were Jim and Scott. I wasn't familiar with those Ghost Rider issues. So let's take a look. What's that?
I was just going to say, there's so many covers that they've done that have been flying under the radar for years because there's thousands of comic books coming out every month, and it's hard to keep up with everything. But that's why we're here to bring these to light.
For sure. So I just pulled up the piece that you commissioned from Scott. This piece is insane. Who colored this piece?
Oh man, I forget his name. And
which on the spot.
No. That's fine. I'm gonna be honest. I may be a dictionary, but man, I definitely don't pretend to know it all.
No.
Let me find these guys.
But while you're finding that, man, so this is the Scott Williams. So he drew this, he inked it, and then we had somebody else color it, correct?
Yeah, right. His name's John. Crazy, right? I think it's Rausch. Rauch.
Well, first of all, the colorist did a hell of a job too, man. Just the chrome look that he did on him. So so this is the exclusive IG Comic Store cover for Silver Surfer #1. And what's dope about this run is that when we were moderating Donnie Cates' panel in El Paso Comic-Con, he was talking about him writing this run. First of all, he was excited to do it. And he was talking about writing it in the hotel room and got the news that Stan Lee passed away. And he said he immediately scrapped everything that he wrote and rewrote it more Stan Lee inspired. And he kind of drew inspiration from Stan Lee when writing this run. So I was already wanting to read this run. I'm like, damn, Donnie's doing Silver Surfer. And then when I saw you have the exclusive for issue #1, I was like, yo, that's crazy.
So if I'm not mistaken, the guy who colored this, John, the gentleman that I just mentioned, he did this with crowns, bro. Crown.
Yeah. It makes sense because it looks different.
It's just insane. And normally when you see the intergalactic stuff, you're seeing purples and blues and green and aqua. Yeah. This kind of has that solar flare effect, which is just completely out of the norm. It's which I guess that's also what makes it amazing. Looks amazing.
Yeah, the oranges are crazy, the blacks, and I'm just checking the chat to see if I'm missing anyone.
Thank you for that.
Questions on the
yeah. Cool, man. So talk about this variant. So first of all, you guys are killing the game with these variants. I like how you said that you don't drop just to drop. You kind of always do something special. It's got to be something that you would want to see done as a fan, right?
That's just it. It's easy to do a bunch of variants. I mean, really, and there's retailers that do it and they do well with them. And I don't think it's a bad thing that there's other retailers doing a lot of variants. Just for us, though, we like to be select. We want them to be special because we're trying to create. We are creating real collectibles by guys that are titans in the industry, and that's we want our customers to remember them.
But I like how you guys operate because you guys are like me. We're the same age. You're kind of like, yo, I used to love Marvel Masterpiece. Let's get Joe Jusko to do a cover. I love Jim Lee. Damn, what Scott Williams? He's he's responsible for inking all those crazy covers. Let's get Scott. Like, I think that's just really cool how you guys select who is going to work on your stuff, man.
You know, so Scott recently did a variant cover for Uncanny X-Men issue 11. It's a 1-in-50 ratio variant. And of course, we did a IG Comic Store exclusive for Uncanny X-Men issue 11 with Scon.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that cover, you know, the first thing that came to my mind was like, is this, again, you know, is this a Jim Lee remastered cover? And no, it's not. This is Scott Williams. And so I actually didn't even know that Scott was so involved with so many different projects and had such a big impact on these covers that he did until I actually did the research myself and my own homework, and had that much more appreciation for him. And just, you know, it's really special. I mean, he's on that Jusco Delato level of just one of a kind, you know, special.
Yeah. Well, he's been in the industry like I said, like 30 years. I mean, he's been a part as a comic artist. I mean, he's been a part of some of the biggest covers ever, and I think it's really cool that he's working with you guys on this here, man. So let's talk about this cover. When is this cover coming out?
Next Friday. Sales go live next Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so there, I don't know if you want me to dive into this now.
Dive into it. So I got the cover up so we can talk about how much is it, how many are there, and all that good stuff.
And this actually isn't the final piece. We're still waiting on that, which we should have, I would say next week sometime. We're doing something pretty cool with the trade dress, which I think everybody's going to love.
I think I know where you're going to go with it.
Oh, yeah?
If I know you, you're going to go 60s original logo.
Maybe.
Is that a maybe? I don't want to say it's a secret, or I'm way off.
Jason, cheers, brother.
We'll keep it for a surprise.
Yeah, we'll keep it for a surprise. But we're gonna limit the virgin cover. We're only gonna do 400 copies.
Okay.
And then the trade, I believe we're doing 600 copies.
Okay.
And as always, you know, everything is near mint or better. More than likely, it's near mint plus. I mean, that's really what we strive to achieve.
You guys are picky as hell. You guys are more picky than the customers, I'm sure. I know how you get down. We are. I would say we are, because, you know, even on books that aren't exclusives, like just other retailer variants, you know, when we put them up for pre-sale, we might have 20 available, but we're ordering like 50 or 60. Because we know a lot of them are going to come in damaged, and man, we're not sending anybody damaged books, and most of our customers, they already know what's up. You know what I think? You know what I think is cool as well. You probably take this for granted, but these are produced by Marvel Comics. They're distributed by Diamond sends them to you, right? Or Marvel sends them to you.
Diamond, yeah.
So
Diamond.
They're the real deal. They're recognized by CGC. They're really the real deal. I mean, that's got to be crazy for you, like, that grew up like a guy like me, right? And you grew up reading comics, and now you have Marvel producing the variant that you're working on. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, bro. You know, the other enterprise that we own and operate, ISS Forge. You know, we make custom 3-piece wheels. You know, I never imagined that I would be here doing comics, but, you know, now that I am here, we have been here for the last 5 years. Feel right at home, man. Like, this is good. This is even better. It's sweeter. It's funner, and
yeah, for sure. I feel you. Yeah. And I like you're doing a virgin cover. I think you have to on this cover, which is basically this version without any text on it. And you're going to do 400 of those, and then you said 600 of the comic with like the Silver Surfer logo and the number and all that.
So since it's Silver Surfer black, we're going to keep Silver Surfer. We're going to add the black, the title black, and we're going to add a couple other features to the cover of the classic trade, which is how we define it. So I mean, you definitely were right to some degree. You know, we like that nostalgic throwback, and of course, this piece, you know, as one of my friends Ryan said, it looks like Basima on steroids.
Yeah. Especially the eyes, right? The eyes remind me of that.
Yeah, and it's got the crackling in the background, that Jack Kirby crackling, and
Kirby dots. Not really Kirby dot, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfection, man. It's couldn't be more pleased with this. And just to mention as well, there will be remark opportunities. So this is a first time for IG Comic Store to have signature and remark opportunities. So it's even more special just from that standpoint, I guess. We're facilitating this stuff, and I think this is this is the start of something great.
Yeah, I can't wait to read this, man. Donnie Cates has been killing it. I'm definitely gonna have to get one of these covers from you, brother. And somebody's asking, when does this series drop? When does the issue number 1? Because pre-order goes up next Friday at 10 a.m. Central. You said, right?
Right.
But when does the comic ship? When does this come out?
Well, it comes out on the 12th, I believe, of June.
Oh, that's my birthday.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Hey, happy early birthday. I'm sure we'll probably toast to your real birthday when it comes around, or when the date comes around. But yeah,
you know how we get down. So it comes. Okay, cool. So, and then are you guys gonna do CGC pre-orders like 9.8s and all that?
Of course, yeah. So there'll be, again, CGC for Virgin, for trade, for signatures. But the SIG stuff is going to be ultra limited, maybe like 3 copies. Again, we're not trying to. Everything's got to. We want to make everything special and limited. These are collectibles. So I mean, the biggest thing here that everybody really needs to know is because there's a blank variant for Silver Surfer Black. We have Scott, who's going to commission 4 or 5 pieces for us, and we're going to give one away. So when you order your set, you're automatically entered in to win this custom art piece, which I think is special because original art it's priceless.
So back that up. So you're saying Scott's going to do commissions on 4 Silver Surfer blank variants. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes, and we're going to give one of those away.
And are those going to be CGC or no?
No, they'll be raw copies only.
All right, no worries. So yeah, somebody's asking, man, you got to get that one signed by Donnie Cates and Scott Williams. That would be dope, man.
Anything's possible. We can
Donnie's out of the con, man. He's hitting all the cons. It seems like.
It definitely seems like. Even Scott is too. It seems like.
So now I'm on the lookout for Scott. We'll run into him probably sometime this year. Real quick, man, we got a couple cool comments in the chat. Anthony D. Biscali said, "What up, Jem? Love the channel." We got Nicholas Bailey said, "Hey, Jem, man, love the channel. You guys really got me into comics." That's my favorite comment. When I see that a lot too.
We talk about that all the time. It's how do you get people into comics? Like how do you reach those people who really aren't into it?
And that's why we've been talking about opening our own shop here, and I talk with Manim all the time. I'm like, yo, we got to get new people. Like we can't worry about who reads comics in El Paso. Like if we got all these people into comics through the channel, we could get a lot of local people into comics as well. But Dimitri, he has. Do you guys work with Donnie Cates to have this? Oh yeah. So I guess right now you're not really in contact with him, but you could always buy.
Right. Yeah.
You could always buy like the Scott Williams signed slab from you, and then if you see Donnie at a con, you could have CGC facilitators there crack it, have him sign it, and all that stuff.
If somebody really wanted both of their SIGs, I'm pretty sure we could make that happen. I would just ask if that's what you're after, just email us, and we'll work our magic on our end.
Bro, I need a double SIG of that cover.
Make that happen.
Make it happen.
Well, we gotta take care of you. Don't worry. We got something special for you, JR and I.
Oh yeah, yo, JR's a man. Shout out to JR, man. Appreciate it. I always like talking to him. Real quick, so Undead said I got him into arcade 1-up machines. And Emilio said I got him into omnibus and statues.
Yo, addiction.
But man, so I think. Oh, did we say? Do you know the price on these yet? Have you guys priced out what you're gonna?
If for everybody that's watching, if you have a Facebook, head to our Facebook page, IG Comic Store. and you'll see the listing. All the prices are listed there. But just to give you a, I guess, a general pricing structure, if you will, just the set price, which the Virgin, you can only obtain the Virgin copy through buying the set or buying a CGC 9.8. Those are $59.95 for the raw set. And forgive me, but I can't remember what we priced the CGC 9.8 at. But again, visit our Facebook page. You'll see the listing there, and you'll see the prices there as well.
Yeah, well, the slabs are usually what, somewhere like 150? Is it something like that, or
no, not quite that much. I want to say like 109, 119 ballpark range is around there. I think the classic trade 9.8 is 99.95, somewhere in that realm.
Yo, real quick, so I just want to show these guys how fucking beautiful. No, those two. That your guys' variants are in slabs. Yo, I love them because. So we got, this is the Just Go.
There you go.
Look, I'm like Moses here with the 10 Commandments, right? So the What If Spider-Man became Punisher and the X-Men won. These things look so clean in these slabs, man. I love them.
Yeah, some of my favorite covers right there. And that's the funnest part, is creating something that you want yourself, right? I don't know if any of the other retailers when they're doing this feel that same way, but when we do, I'm just like, want it, gotta have it, and that's I feel like if we want it, most of our fans and followers are going to want it as well.
Yeah, and I even feel like I'm a part of these with you. Like, these are things, like, I sell a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not really married to anything, but like, these are things that I never ever think about getting rid of. I'm like, yo, that's when me and Brent collabed on these things, and like, I don't know, they're real, like, sentimental value. I love them, bro.
Priceless, brother, priceless.
Sure, for sure. Did you ever get Just Go to sign any of those?
No, I guess he's been tied up with, I don't know what he's doing. He's been creating a lot of like Jungle, Tarzan.
Doing Conan stuff or something, right?
I don't think it's Conan.
But he is doing something. I saw that. I
could be wrong, but I don't think it's Conan. I think it's something definitely jungle and animal related. So Joe, if you're watching this as well, drop a line, man. Let's collab again on something special.
It's funny, like Joe, man, that's like one of like my all-time favorite artists, and I posted these slabs and tagged him, and he wrote back real quick, and I geek out. I was like, he kind of got mad at me a little bit because I put that they were cover swipes, and he was like, no, those are cover homages. That's what the I don't know what he called you, the commissioner asked for, and I was like, oh, my bad, cover homages. I'm
not trying to fuck it up.
I edited that shit real quick, but no, it was cool to see him just comment.
Ninja edit.
I seen him in NYCC, but he had a long ass line. He was doing a Midtown exclusive for that Wolverine one, I think, that I got you. And he's doing Edgar.
Yeah.
What's that?
No. You said that you had got me that comic, and I had to.
Oh yeah.
What it was, but yeah. Thank you for that again.
But Exit 2005 said he's doing all the covers for the Edgar Rice Burroughs Tarzan books.
Tarzan, hey, that was a guess too, but there you go.
And then Joe Ryan said he's been doing Red Sonja variants. Micaiah Brown, it's IGCOMICSTORE.com to purchase anything from their site, but they have other stuff too. You guys have always like key issues and stuff for sale as well.
I mean, our root business was built off of back issues, basically from my collection. Everything is near mint or better.
Always.
And
no 9.6s.
Well, sometimes there's definitely 9.6s.
Well, I mean,
so don't
not for a modern, you don't have no 9.6s.
Not well. I guess depends. But for the most part, we keep it all near mint plus. I think what keeps a lot of people buying back is that it's kind of a worry-free purchase. They're buying knowing that IG Comic Store is always going to have their best intentions at hand, and that's awesome. So thank you to everybody for that.
Yeah, for sure. So Austin Links is asking, like, if we open a shop, would we have a special guest for the grand opening? Hell yeah. Like, we definitely are going to want to do stuff like that all the time. Like, even if we took a loss, I'm flying Scott Williams out and we're promoting the hell out of it, and he's signing X-Men 1s and shit. Like, that's it. Let's go. But we got to make sure that we're CGC witnesses and all that, and then we'll send them off to get graded and everything. So hell yeah, we're going to do that.
And IG Comic Store is a facilitator which we haven't publicly announced really yet, but we're a facilitator for CGC. So for whatever odd chance that you guys aren't set up and you need us to come down and wreck shop on that, we will.
You might have to just make that 12-hour drive for your boy.
Well, I'm flying. I'm not driving.
How you gonna fly to a city in the same state?
It's the biggest state.
It's a big gap between.
That's a long drive, brother. Yeah. I mean, shoot, I don't even think that the flight to California or Miami is that long.
It's like 9 hours.
12 hours.
9-hour drive. Hey, a lot of people in the chat are saying they've purchased from you guys, and they agree 100%. Like, you guys are legit. The condition is crazy good.
Thank you.
So, and Scott Williams, if Scott, if you're still watching, man, thank you for everything you've done for comics over the last 30 years and being a part of these iconic covers, man. We love it, and we love the new Silver Surfer variant too.
And if things, and I'm gonna measure my message here. If things work out the way we're trying to get them to work out, so if Scott, if you are watching this, then this event in Miami that I'm speaking of, it's going to be a big one, man. In fact, it'll be the first of its kind, period. And I think it'll open up a lot of doors of opportunities for a lot of other artists and for retailers, etc.
I'm down to come, man. For it's like a event at a brewery. But you know what? We did kind of do our live show at Dead Beats Brewery with Donnie Cates. So I don't know. That's kind of like a comic event that we had there.
Yeah, it maybe. Yeah, I mean, you could. That's more of an interview. I mean, I think this is going to be on another tickle, but yeah, you got the right idea though. You're on the right track, man. I mean, Donnie Cates. I mean,
you know what?
That's a big.
My buddy that, sometimes you need outside eyes. My buddy came through and he was like, yo, why are you guys promoting these brands like Dos Equis and Corona? Like they don't do nothing for you. He was like, why don't you go to a local brewery? I can't even say it today. And drink their beer and form partnerships with local people. And I was like why?
Talk about how old it is.
Yeah. So we were working with a brewery. I can't even say it. Anyway, another local one hit us up, and I was like, yo, see, now we're starting to get like attention. You know what I mean? So I think
yeah. Look, we have a Comics and Beer Instagram page for a reason. Comics and beers, they go together, man. They really do.
You've been on that for years.
I have. I wish I could do a little bit more with it, but time's a little. But yeah, I mean, that's the reason why it does exist, is so that anybody who is watching, paying attention, they can tie these two things together and they understand.
And my thing is, I've always been such a basic bitch with beer, like light beer, like like Budweiser, like your Miller or whatever. And I finally, with the Deadbeat stuff, I was finally getting into the craft beers. And
you've been getting a bit more crafty lately.
I've been getting crafty. We went that one time to Shoots. I was doing the Shoots with you. That's craft, no?
Yeah.
But this guy drinks like the crazy stuff, man. You should follow his. Are you on Instagram?
I just started one for you.
You got to follow his Comics and Beer because he's got a crazy. You would like all that shit. What'd you say? Go get a Juicy Juice. That's one of those beers from. Is that Whole Foods? You said.
Juicy Juice.
I thought that's what you called it. What did you say yesterday? You're like, go to Whole Foods, go get you a case of something.
I said, go grab a juicy IPA. So I mean, it really depends on what your flavor is. You're drinking a lot of water right now. Corona, Dos Equis. There's not a lot of flavor to that stuff. So if you try to dive into an IPA or a stout, it might be a little too potent for you.
Yeah, the stouts are too much still for me.
I'm all about that, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, so
it all depends on the side, man.
Jason Beltran said Blazing Tree Brewery in El Paso.
I'm responding to him now.
Oh yeah, you know all about it.
Yes,
knows all about it. Juicy. I thought Juicy Juice was the brand. It sounded like a nice beer.
That's actually a juice. That's an actual like little carton of juice, if I'm not mistaken. Juice.
Come on, man. You think I know about them little juice boxes?
Yeah. See.
All right. Hey, so I think we're gonna wind it down, man. I think did we cover everything we were supposed to cover? I think we did, right?
Yeah, we got everything. We've got the giveaway. So again, everybody that purchases is automatically going to be entered this giveaway. In fact, I guess the giveaway, we may even set something up to do it through you, Jim.
I'm always down for that.
Just so it's public and it's live and everybody can see it. So yeah, man, let's have some fun. And in fact, in July, we've got some really hot fire as well coming out that I'm sure we'll talk about soon as well. So.
For sure, man. Stay tuned. All right, cool, man. So, hey, thanks for everybody who's watching this live. Shout out to y'all and everyone who's going to watch this on the replay. Make sure hit up IGCOMICSTORE.com, hit up their Instagram, hit up their Facebook group, all the same name. And yeah, man, thanks again, Brent, for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you guys stay minty fresh, man. Peace.
Take care.